P.J. Jacobson, in his third race, returned to the United States, wins here at Virginia International Raceway, and captures his first AMA Pro Road Race win of his career.
It took me a little while to get my first win in Supersport, and then I finally got it. I think I won by like 8.5 seconds or something like that. So it was pretty cool to win the Supersport race. And then kind of from there is where it like built for me. And then I started to be like more, you know, running at the front, battling for wins and stuff like that.
Without question, one of the most talented riders we have in the MotoAmerica paddock. P.J. Jacobson, a welcome addition back in the United States. With a few corners to navigate, PJ, woof.
All right, Peach, you got a 4-second lead here, all right? Like,
yeah, a look over his shoulder, man, because that was not the cleanest chicane I've ever seen. So P.J. Jacobson, now he's got to get it on the brakes in turn number 11. Not the easiest corner on the racetrack, but PJ's going to turn it, get on the gas, and head towards the checkered flag. Put your hands together for P.J. Jacobson, his second win of 2019.
I'm not the type of guy that just wants to be riding around in like, you know, 5th or 6th position every single weekend. Like, my goal is to move forward and move to the front, you know, and if I wanted to do that, honestly, I would just go back to work and like sit at home, you know. So it was pretty good to get that win and then kind of just, you know, like prove to myself and maybe some other people and stuff that I'm capable of doing that.
Previously on Pressure to Rise. Cameron Beaubier's championship aspirations took a major blow after crashing out of race 1 at Brainerd.
The starting spot on pole on the inside of the track, it was not very ideal. I got slotted back into 3rd.
Oh, Beaubier! Unbelievable! Almost saved it in the middle of the racetrack, and it was their contact with his bike with another rider. It was so close.
I rolled on the gas and the rear end came around. There was just no chance of saving me. And I tried to hang on as long as I could, and it bucked me over the bars pretty good. And that was that.
After a podium finish in 3rd for race 1, Josh Herron moved into 2nd in the point standings.
The downside of this whole year has been, I feel like it's taken me a little bit more to get used to this bike than I thought it was going to. I'm comfortable on it and I love it, but finding the right setup, especially with not really being able to use Petrucci's data because we have the new gearbox rules, so the gearing is completely different everywhere that we go. That's been one of the most difficult things because it's taken us all day Friday and sometimes even Saturday morning to like get a good setup.
Matthew Skoltz and Westby's misfortunes continued with a DNF in race 1.
All stations go red, all stations go red. 1-1, heavily smoking, heavily smoking.
Okay, get off it, Matthew, get off it. What's that? Is there any way you can radio to make sure they keep an extinguisher near our bike? Because if it's dumping oil, you know what I mean?
Just one of those deals, we can't blame anyone, but obviously Matthew hit the back of PJ's bike. The chain and sprocket actually took out the oil cooler and the water radiator, and then obviously ran out of oil and blew the engine up.
Bobby Fong made some strides in his 3rd round back on a Superbike.
The bike is cool. I'm still getting used to it. It's just so different, you know, it's so different than any other big bike I've ever ridden, so I still consider myself a Superbike rider, even though the talent in the bagger class is so stacked, and like I got Superbike riders in the bagger class, you know, so you know, it's good to be in Superbike and baggers. Can't complain.
Sunday morning's biggest question is, will Cameron Beaubier be healthy enough for race 2 after Saturday's crash?
Obviously, you guys saw the crash yesterday. It was pretty nasty. I haven't had a high side like that in a long time. Yeah, I haven't smacked my head like that in a long time. I was feeling pretty out of it yesterday, and woke up this morning and was feeling a little bit better, but having some spacey moments. I mean, for the most part, you know, I'm okay. Nothing broken or anything like that, but I've learned from past concussions and stuff, head is not something you want to mess with. It's better for long term to sit today out. After talking to the doctor and my team and my manager, Jake Zemke, so you know, it's a big bummer. We're a decent ways out of the lead in the championship right now anyways, so it's a tough decision to make, but I mean, it is what it is.
Cameron Beaubier is out for this race.
Yeah, sad news for all of us, you know, and the thing is that how does this change the dynamic for Jake Gagne going forward? He had a real battle with Beaubier through the year, but Josh Herrin's sitting right there in third. He's ready. He's hungry and ready also. Second, actually.
Second, yeah, exactly.
Second,
and that's
actually,
the whole thing. So we talked about Josh Herrin. He has 8 podiums in a row, and he's keeping this championship really close. And the thing about Herrin is he's very tenacious, and that motorcycle he's on is outstanding.
I didn't actually want this spot. I was hoping they weren't going to regrid us. All good? All good? Okay.
Whoops. That might have been my fault. I
was thinking, I was like, why the f are we still in fourth?
Yeah.
Beaubier's in notch but I guess.
All right.
Step by step. Not slowly, but step by step.
Yeah.
Right? So, and remember, man, you belong here. You're sitting P4 on the grid right now on Superbike, your second Superbike weekend.
Have fun, man. Just enjoy yourself. What's that?
Be patient with me.
Dude, I'm fine.
I'm pretty gassed, but I don't want it to ruin my chances of getting to do it again.
I know.
When the race gets going, if you feel like you got more pace than Gagne early, don't be afraid to make a move and try to put a little gap on him. See if you can rattle his cage a little bit.
All eyes on the 99 of PJ Jacobson, who had an unbelievable run yesterday with the #1 plate just in front of him.
I wasn't too happy with our lap times yesterday, to be honest, and I think the track was just so greasy, so hopefully we can make a step today in race 2 and try to deliver a win.
There we go. Clutches around, and it looks like a good launch from Schultz on the 11. He's right behind Jake Gagne. So Schultz in second spot, a great launch from that row. And now PJ Jacobson is going to try to go up the inside. No. And how about the Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzuki in third spot with Herrin in 5th.
Yeah, Brandon Posh there in 4th. And they're all breaking down into this turn 3 for the first time. Posh going to hold that position. Herrin runs a little bit wide. That's going to allow, looks like Escalante to go up underneath him, but Gagne gets the start he needs. Matthew Schultz, who didn't get those laps yesterday, Greg. We talk about that all the time. I spoke with him this morning. They're continuing to try to keep making that bike better for him. Matthew Schultz slots himself into second, and he's seeing his first race laps right now of the weekend, really.
When I'm riding around with Jake and PJ, Herrin, Beaubier, all of them, when I'm riding on the bike, I feel like, you know, I should be there, that they not like better than me. But when I kind of think about it afterwards, I'm like, man, dude, those guys are insane. So it makes me feel cool to just be up there racing with them, you know. But I know that I should be up there, but just bad luck has just plagued us, man.
It's all about these first 5 laps for Gagne and really trying to force the issue.
Schultz and Jacobson hang on to Gagne for the first couple of laps. On lap 3, Jacobson gets past Schultz.
PJ Jacobson makes the move around Schultz, so Schultz still in 3rd.
Schultz got in front of me. Gagne was first, so I didn't know if he was going to get away at that point. Made the pass on Schultz to get back, behind Gagne. And honestly, I just didn't want to be stuck in the same position I was yesterday.
Herrin has some pace, and on lap 4 passes Scholes, looking like he'll track down the leaders.
14 and a half laps to go in Medallia Superbike race number 2. There it goes, Herrin up the inside.
I can't remember the last time that I was on a Superbike and had that feeling I had that day. It's very rare, at least for me, that I ever have the confidence when I'm riding to like be able to sit back and plan, because there's so much going on a Superbike and everything's coming at you so fast. I felt so confident that I was able to like plan out, okay, what am I gonna do? What lap do I wanna do it on? Like, how's this gonna play out type of thing.
PJ rolled behind Gagne all day yesterday. He's in the exact same position he is in today. The biggest problem he has is that when the number 2 gets to the back of him, he's not going to wait around. He is going to do whatever he can to get by the 99 immediately. He's going to want to make quick work of PJ Jacobson. So PJ's got to have some eyes in the back of his head and know that that's going to be coming. Where did Herrin go? Herrin is, where did he go?
On lap 8, Herrin has a problem and eventually pulls out of the race.
I felt like we 90% had the chance to win that race. 2 times now where I really think we had a good shot at a win. We've got it kind of ripped away, and it would have made up some good points on Gagne. I still don't really know exactly what happened. We just had some washer in the gearbox that failed. Got to kind of just keep our fingers crossed that we have some good races and they don't have some great races, and maybe be fighting at the end.
On the next lap, PJ Jacobson makes the pass on Gagne.
Bring it in there.
I had to do some homework last night and figure out, hey, where can we like maybe make a move on him if I get put in this situation again.
There you go. Nice. Come on.
PJ Jacobson has taken over the lead.
Yes!
So whatever was going on, PJ Jacobson had had enough.
I saw an opportunity and I took it in the race, and then I tried to put my head down and do some decent lap times and get away. I was trying to keep calm, but when you're thinking about like, oh, hey, this could be my first Superbike win, like the adrenaline, everything's going at the same time, so I'm trying to focus, and then I'm like, okay, PJ, you can do it. You could do the last 2 laps or last lap, you push as hard as you can, and it was a hard fight to the end, and I just had to, I guess, make sure that he couldn't pass me if he was close enough.
Just keep it clean, kid. I think we're okay.
Gagne's just a little bit too far back.
Come on!
With nothing doing in that corner, only one to do it. Is this going to be for PJ Jacobson? The first win of Medallia Superbike. He comes onto the front straightaway. He pulls the trigger.
15 more feet.
To the flag he goes, and PJ Jacobson hits the win over Gagne.
Woo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
Matthew Scholes is able to hold on for 3rd spot over Bobby Fong. Brandon Posh in 5th place. Hayden Gilliam in 6th. Richie Escalante in 7th.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! God, right! Woo! Yes!
Well done, guys.
Awesome.
PJ was really riding good. I mean, I'm pumped for him and the team. He earned that victory, because even if I was on him on that last lap, it would have been really tough to make a move. At least a kind of a move that would stick.
When you're growing up as a kid and stuff like that, they win AMA Superbike and now it's MotoAmerica, but it's cool to be up here and to, have this opportunity and to, be like those other guys and have a win in this series. I've had a lot of wins in other series, and it's finally good to have a Superbike win in MotoAmerica.
Great ride, kid. Great ride.
Leaving Brainerd, Gagne has increased his points lead to 68 over Herrin and 79 over Beaubier. After his first Superbike win and a P2 in race 1, PJ Jacobson jumps 2 spots in the point standings to 4th, and Richie Escalante rounds out the top 5.
I'm not supposed to be as depressed as I am about, I'm supposed to be, yeah, we can still do this, anything's possible, while there's still a mathematical possibility of winning the championship, the chances of it are pretty low now for sure. There's 7 more races left, after we leave here, and we're just going to go and try and win all 7 and, just finish out the season as best we can.
Round 7 at Pitt Race is pivotal for Josh Herrin and Cameron Beaubier to get some points back and lessen the lead Gagne has on both.
After Brainerd, I went home, was not feeling too hot, just groggy all week. This last week, my head started clearing up and I started feeling a lot better, back to normal. And coming to this race, I was, I guess, a little nervous, just for whatever reason. Coming into here after smacking your head, it's just puts things into perspective a little bit.
I'm more physically fit than I ever have been, but it's still, doing 3 races on a Superbike is not easy. Doing one each day is not easy. So to have 2 of them in one day and 3, in 2 days it's a lot of work, but I gotta kind of look at it like a gift because we get an extra race to kind of make up some points. I need to take advantage of it if I can.
The first session barely got underway, and Gagne's bike has an issue on his outlap that causes a red flag to come out.
Just kind of was puking a little oil or something, and I just tried to pull it off the track, shut it off. Red flag, obviously, which is a bummer.
We had an issue with a part on the bike that failed because they red flagged the session. It allowed him to get the bike back in the crash truck, and so we were able to assess what the problem was and fix it.
But yeah, the bike got back. They said, well, we'll probably be good for the last 10 minutes, so they were on a hustle. It got him fired up to kind of get in pit stop mode and get working quick. So they did a good job as always, and we got back out there and still got some laps, so it was good.
Cameron Peterson is here to support the team after successful surgery on his ailing wrist.
I was going crazy sitting at home, so made my mind up, and I'm not going to miss another round for the rest of the season because it sucks watching from home. I think I downplayed this injury a little bit too much, and I didn't really know how bad it was until the surgeon opened my wrist up and realized that it was a lot worse than what we thought. So unfortunately, it got to the point where my everyday life and riding a motorcycle was almost impossible with the pain. So I had to get it done, and they ended up not doing the anchovy procedure. They did a proximal opectomy, I think it's called. So they ended up just taking a whole row of bone out of my wrist. So I just wait and let the thing heal and see how it goes. But I think I'll get all my range of mobility back, all my strength back. So honestly, it's been probably since 2009, 2010 that I've had a bad wrist. So looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a game changer.
Cam's replacement at Pitt Race is J.D. Beach. Beach is a 2-time MotoAmerica Supersport champion who's been competing in American flat track. He last rode a Superbike in 2021.
When I came to this weekend, I already kind of knew the bike, but I just had to relearn this track because I haven't been here in about 5 years now. So it was nice just to get some time on the bike and just to get my eyes back used to the speed. I mean, of course, I'm a racer and I want to win or be up front, but for me, my goal was just to get a good start, not do anything dumb the first few laps, and just make it to the end. I wanted to do the whole race, see the checkered flag, and just get that time and get the feeling of the bike and how the bike will work from the middle to the end of the race, and knowing that I have 2 more this weekend, I just wanted to make it through that first one and be ready to go for the second and third race, and definitely have a little less nerves now.
PJ Jacobson had the fastest lap in practice 1 earlier. He's looking to build consistency after his first Superbike win at Brainerd.
You look back at things and you're like, man, I wish I could have done the double there, But it was cool to get my first win and stuff like that. And yeah, I guess it eventually sunk in and stuff like that. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just another race weekend and it's over with, and then you move on to the next race weekend.
We're 2/10 out of second place.
Brandon Posh was P4 in the morning's practice session, but this is qualifying and everyone gets faster.
Brandon's progressing very quickly. He's learning, catching on to the things, routines, the way the bike works very fast, a lot faster than a lot of people expected, and it's great. It's awesome because he's kind of at this point in his career, as at age and what he knows as far as his talent and levels, his skill level. He's kind of a crew chief's kind of dream because he hasn't developed a lot of bad habits, and we can kind of, guide him in the right direction and help him mature as a rider and make sure that he doesn't go down, forming, bad habits.
We're picking up right where we left off. A little bit of different preload in the front forks, but that's about it. What's that?
Just to help with the elevation stuff?
Yeah, we're taking some of the preload back out because I don't think you're going to need as much force in the front forks to start off with. So we can add it back in later if we do need it. If you find you're, over the front of it too much, so.
Cameron Beaubier is still trying to find his groove.
I felt like I was riding a little timid today, especially in the first practice. I was just not trusting the bike and not rolling around here like I know how to ride.
What do you know?
Yeah, I don't know what the I'm doing. I ran off the track twice.
Saw that. Do you feel like you're paying attention? I know when I've had problems in the past, I realize I'm not paying attention. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, I should be thinking about what I'm doing. Are you doing that? Or is it, do you notice yourself doing that?
No, I just after I have a moment, I was just like, what the was I just doing?
Oh, really?
It's like, what was I just thinking about? Felt a lot better in the second practice though, and the guys made some good changes to the bike to get me a little more comfortable with the TC and feeling a lot better and ready to go here at Pitt.
Having lots of data from the season is an important part to help find the right setup from track to track.
One I'm sitting, and it just snapped. It's there's no watchdog or TRM or whatever.
Can we go back up with that TRM? Just overall everywhere, like we were before, please. Yeah, so we're at 7.5 minutes now. Okay, and then we'll leave them in the TC button as well. Okay, so we're going to go back to our original TRM from previous rounds to give it more torque reduction when it needs it. So we're going to leave, when you leave, you're going to be in the TC button, okay? Yeah. So if you need more TC, just go up, okay?
Put the pivot in it. We're going to change the pivot.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And that'll give
the R3 has a bit better grip, but we'll see if that helps.
Okay.
This is the new R3, yeah. This is what we think the race tire will be. It's the same one we ran last time.
So do a run on this. This is the one that you just did a few laps on last time around.
Same front the whole time?
We have another front if we need it, but if we can do the same front, that'd be better because then we can say we can use 2 in Q2 tomorrow morning.
And that's a 0 again?
That's a 0 again, yeah. Same tire. We seem to like it, so a little more air pressure in it. You're going to start squeezing the brake a little harder. Yeah. Jake was getting a little bit of squirmy. He was squeezing the brake a little harder. Okay.
Did Jake run the 0?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, he liked it.
The brake keeps coming in quite a bit. And also, I feel like I'm spinning way more than I was this morning.
Okay. Everywhere?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, check the brakes because he says it feels like it's coming all the way back to the bars. So see if there's some air in it. Crack it open, see if you can get any air out of it.
You're red sector 1 and sector 3. Sector 2 is our problem. We're like 2/10 off. Okay. Which is all the S's and then that 11, 12 thing before you come back into view.
Sliding around there.
In the middle? Or where?
On the entry.
Entry to which ones?
On the S's.
Okay.
And then when I'm picking up the throttle,
yep.
I feel like the TC is not guiding me.
Okay. Hey, we might, Luke, let's get the data. We might have some changes. Anywhere else you're having that problem, or is it just in the S's? Get up our fast lap and our second fastest lap from that. I want to look at the S's.
PJ Jacobson grabs provisional pole, followed by Gagne, Beaubier, Fong, and Heron. Fans start rolling in early Saturday morning for the final qualifying session and to save a good spot for the earlier races in the other classes.
With this new package that we have, the bike's feeling good, working well, Triggs, feeling happy about it, the team have a good vibe now, family's healthy, I feel good, so things are starting to come back together nicely for me.
If you get out and you feel good after 2 laps and you got a decent lap time in, you got a good feel for the bike, feel free to come in whenever you want. If you feel like you need a few more laps to get your head screwed on, do it, we'll skip the shock, okay?
PJ Jacobson loses his spot on provisional pole on Gagne's first flying lap in Q2.
Gagne has already turned the lap way quicker than anything yesterday. PJ a 43 flat, so we're 0.3 quicker on lap 1.
And also Josh Herron as well, 43.1.
How much better does Gagne go? 42.2. That's massive.
We were trying to get some more grip, get some kind of load on the rear tire coming out of the turns, and we managed this morning for Q2 to make a good jump and getting some grip, getting some weight transfer, also kind of getting a little bit more stability on the brakes, a little bit of EB stuff. But I'm really happy we made some really good progress with the bike overnight and even a little bit more going into the race.
It's good. At the middle sector you were struggling, and then when you followed Jake, you picked the middle sector up. Okay. What did you feel like?
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so much easier to open the throttle.
With 10 minutes left in the session, Richie Escalante is putting in a good lap without the Q tire.
Got to get it stopped, takes the call.
Well, Michael covered his eyes there, so we'll see. Obviously, it looked a little ragged, but that doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't semi-quick.
Oh, come on, son. We're on a screamer. Come on, in the P3, P2.
The former Supersport champion crosses the line, goes second.
Tito! Oh!
Roger Hayden speechless. That was impressive.
He's just throwing caution to the wind and trying to get a really good qualifying spot, and it's good to see.
A big moment in the front straight, almost on the finish line. I just touched the grass and almost high side on the straight, so very fast. So yeah, I'm scary. Big moment, but lucky to not crash.
Jacobson can't seem to find more time.
Any thoughts on the front end yet? Does it feel like it's any better? Does it feel the same? Yeah, it feels a little better. Okay.
Where's our worst one?
We're still, like, 2 is kind of our struggle. Like, Gagne had 1 really good first split, so this is all the sector bests, right? So he's got 3/10 on us there, but that was only 1. Yeah. He did a couple of these. So, I mean, we're giving up more time here, but this one was more concerning to me because he did multiples of them. So I still feel like we got to work on sector 2 more than 1.
It feels good. Took it up a lot better.
Yeah.
It steers better.
Okay.
No negatives.
No. The only thing I could do is put some preload back in the front.
Coming in now.
What?
He's coming in now.
Okay.
You mind giving JD a tow? He's going to be in right now. We're going to do his Q right away.
JD Beach plans to get a tow from Gagne after they both put on the Q tire, but Bobby Fong spoils it as he gets the tow from Gagne.
Bobby Fong is using the defending champion as a bit of a target here. Through the chicane goes Gagne, but look at the graphics, and there in the back of the picture, the number 50, Bobby Fong, who is now really getting to grips. And let's not forget, the bike that Bobby's on, it's Jake's bike from last Jurgrek. This is stunning. We're going to see a change at the top. And is Bobby Fong going to put the ADR Yamaha onto P1? I'm going to say yes. It's a stunning lap from Gagne. It's an even better lap from Bobby Fong, 141.6. Stunning lap. Where did he find that? That is a great, great lap from Bobby Fong, and he knows it, Roger.
First expectation going in this weekend was qualify in the first two rows. Like, that was the first thing on my mind. I'm like, okay, I can't qualify in 3rd and 4th row because I know, like, by race 2 or 3, we'll get the ball rolling, because usually lately it's like we'll have our stuff together by race 2 and then the weekend's over. But I've already qualified so low, I'm like making it hard for myself and the team. So goal was first 2 rows, and I got pole, and I'm like, I'd rather have qualified 2nd row. Now it's a whole bunch of pressure on me. All I could do is go backwards now, So I'm like, you know, but we're doing good.
I don't know if I was surprised or impressed. You know what I mean? No question. I was surprised. You know, but so you went out on the race tire on the R3. You know, the first bit of the session, we made some changes, some small changes, and he came in. I go, okay, so the better. And he just had this look on his face, like, I've got this. You know. So, you know, out of all the teams, I think the changes we had made for Q2, the Q tire was going to really fall into what we had done in terms of the grip levels. So, but when we saw that 41.6, we were like, really, you know. So, but like I said, he just had this. Leave me alone, I've got this, you know. And I just said to him, are you going to go and do Bobby Fong things now? He goes, yep. So.
Time ran out for Beaubier as he missed the chance to make use of the Q tire and ends up P6 for the weekend.
There's not enough time.
Escalante doesn't get faster on the Q tire and gets bumped to P4 as Scholz and Westby get on the front row in P3. Josh Herrin, Ashton Yates, and Brandon Posh finish out the third row.
This weekend is one of the 2 weekends we have where we have 3 Medallia Superbike races in the same weekend. That's a heavy load for riders, Jason.
Yeah, it's going to be a really heavy load for riders because 3 races already is the intensity has got to be raised. That's why qualifying, though, is so key. We're getting ready for race number 1 here, 17 laps at a very, very physical track.
Very physical, and that's really the story. There isn't a straightaway, really, Jason, where people can actually catch their breath or rest.
Yeah, and even when there is a straightaway, you're going up or down a hill, and you're trying to control the bike from wheeling and things, as you're going to see here in a few minutes, coming out of turn 1, going towards turn 2.
Medallia Superbike race number 1 with a privateer motorcycle on pole position, and away we go. And it looks like the number 1 plate got a heck of a launch, and it is Jake Gagne on that fresh and lean progressive Yamaha that'll lead the way, and then Matthew Scholz. A good launch for Scholz from 3rd position in 2nd, and your pole man, Bobby Fong.
On the first lap, Beaubier and Herrin changed positions 3 times, trying to keep the lead group from getting away.
Hottest track we've seen yet, so we knew the grip would be a little lower as the track gets hotter.
Bobby Fong is sizing up Scholz early when he has a big moment.
Oh no! Whoa! Way to hang on, Bobby!
I thought I was gonna be in the weeds immediately. Like I literally was. It took me a while to get my heart rate back down. I'm like, whoa, it's weird. Like I was coming around, I made the left, and then you transition and just steady throttle. And it was like the wheel came off, and I'm just ready to I'm getting ready to prepare to just get ejected. Like, and somehow it came back in line. I'm like, whoever was behind me had to show. Like I didn't know if the whole pack was gonna, hit me, but we saved it. And I haven't seen the highlights, but I heard it was pretty big on TV as well. It felt huge, but.
Beaubier gets past his Tytler's teammate on lap 6.
Cam Beaubier now has made his way through on his teammate, the 99 PJ Jacobson, just in the background there. The number 6 moving forward as he's closed up to the back of Bobby Fong.
On lap 8, Beaubier moves into 3rd past Fong. And later on the same lap passes Scholz.
Beaubier goes up underneath the inside. So there's 2nd place as Gagne's 3.5 seconds up the road.
I had podium pace for sure. Like I knew I could run on the podium.
So here comes Fong. Is he gonna make the move up the inside? Is he gonna have to straight line it? Oh, can he finish the corner? Wow, that was so close, but it looks like Scholz is gonna get a drive on him, and side by side they go. Wow. So number 50, Bobby Fong, he tried to make it work. Look, there's no rear view mirrors.
I knew Bobby was going to do something. I mean, I knew he was going to throw the kitchen sink, at me. So I don't know if we actually touched, but it was super, super close, and I just made it, and he kind of had to bounce over the top part of it.
Fong is fighting hard for the podium, but it's looking like his push will fall short, as he is assessed a 1.5-second penalty for cutting the chicane earlier.
And the only time I went on the curbing it was a safety issue. I was basically in the grass. And I lost so much time doing it already. I'm like, why did I still get a penalty? And it was a safety issue. But I mean, it is what it is. Rules are rules. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, it is what it is. it's the same for everybody. I just need to stay on track. I've been off track a lot this year. I've been cutting a lot of corners this year.
All eyes on the fresh and lean progressive Yamaha of Jake Gagne. The championship points leader trying to get his third in a row. He'll come to the stripe and take race number 1 win. Medallia Superbike goes to Gagne. Cameron Beaubier in second. Bobby Fong got around Matthew Skoltz, but unfortunately will fall 1 second short of finishing on the podium. Matthew Skoltz will hold on to that.
PJ Jacobson finishes P5, Heron P6, Richie Escalante a disappointing P8, and Corey Alexander finishing in 12th.
He actually crossed the line in third, but I think I was handed third because of that. You know, I don't even know if it was from the last lap or from early on when he passed me and kind of missed the chicane then. But second race consecutively back on the podium, so you know, extremely happy. You know, it kind of feels like we've turned the whole season around.
I'll take it, my man.
See you guys at the pit later.
A long Sunday awaits with 2 races.
Hey, got my dog?
After seeing your first thing this morning.
No, come on.
Nice
Hey,
job.
pet her? She's your biggest fan. Great race. Thanks, guys.
Nothing much usually happens in Sunday morning's warm-up sessions, but Scott Jensen is throwing a lot at the bike to try and find PJ some time.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? Hi. So I got a really busy morning planned for us in this session. I want to try 2 different setups on the back of the bike, okay? We're starting with something different than we ran yesterday. We're testing that shock that we didn't get a chance to try in qualifying. And then I want to try a different link with a different shock also. So I want to go out, hopefully just do 1 flying lap. So you'll get an out lap, a flying lap, and then an in lap. And we're going to swap the link and the shock and then go back out. Because it's only a 15-minute session, so we don't have much time. What I want to know is out of these 2, which you prefer, and then we'll go through the data after the session and look at it too. 1 minute, 1 minute.
PJ now knows he can beat Gagne in a straight-up dogfight. It's not lost as they prepare for race 2.
You know, you have a good weekend and stuff like that. You don't really know how the next one will go, but hopefully it keeps going on a high instead of a low. But our racing sport is like that, so getting back to focusing on the next round on, you know, Monday or Tuesday, and kind of going from there, you know.
Beaubier is still in the championship chase, and each lap provides a chance to find more time.
I felt a lot better in the second practice though, and the guys made some good changes to the bike to get me a little more comfortable with the TC, and yeah, the confidence and the trust was coming back a little bit, so definitely have to build on that. I feel like I've always been pretty good here.
Yesterday was interesting because Gagne, he set sail, but this morning we saw one rider throw down some fast laps.
We certainly did. Tyler Cycle has gone to work overnight, and they've given Cameron Beaubier a bike that he was able to do 2 1:41.7 and 1:41.8 lap times this morning. So this is where the qualifying could be a problem for him, only because he's got to come from the second row.
I felt like I was able to carve through the tight stuff a lot better.
Yeah.
With the front grip and the shorter wheelbase. Like when I released the brake, I could still like pull it, you know?
Right.
In the S's, and also turn 4, like coming out of 3, like flicking it back to 4, I was able to like get it to hook a little bit better.
Cool.
Any thoughts so far?
Yeah, it seems like it has some more grip.
Okay.
Practice and qualifying are in the morning, and grip's usually pretty good when the track's cold. And then when the track gets over about 30 or 35 degrees Celsius, the grip drops off pretty significantly. So you end up practicing qualifying and you think your bike is gonna work pretty well. And then in the afternoon, the grip drops off and the bike is totally different. So you're always trying to come up with ways to prepare the bike for the afternoon.
Don't get too comfortable. It's only gonna take them a couple minutes to swap it, okay?
coming out of race 1, even though we didn't get the result we wanted, we had a ton more information as to how the bike was actually going to act when the track got up to the appropriate temperature. So we tried to use that and roll that into the setup coming into today. Even in the morning warm-up today, we were running a setup that we thought was going to be more appropriate for the heat, which in the higher grip of this morning, the bike didn't work quite as well, and I think we ended up in that 5th or 6th place again after Sunday morning warm-up, but we felt we had a much better bike in the heat for later in the day.
Let's go. You guys are ready, let's go. Nicely done, boys. Nicely done.
Did you time
it? Well done. Not with a stopwatch, but on the clock it was about 2:45.
Wow.
So about 30 seconds faster than this morning.
My bike is super fast, but we've been struggling a little bit off the line. Like, I'll get a good jump, but then a little bit after that, we're really heavy into the wheelie control and fighting the wheelies a little bit. So the guys are working hard and giving me some good stuff.
It's time to get this 17-lap race underway. Medallion Superbike race number 2 is off and running, and it looks like Gagne, the #1 plate, got another good launch. Will he lead us into turn number 1? He does. Bobby Fong on the outside. Fong trying to roll around Gagne. As side by side they go, heading down to the bottom of the hill. Who's going to have the advantage? And it's Jake Gagne who takes the spot for now. We'll see if everybody falls into line. Josh Herron trying to make a bid for 3rd place around Richie Escalante. So Escalante, or 4th place, he's able to hold off to that. So you have that fresh and lean progressive Yamaha in front of the Wrench Motorcycles Yamaha R1, and then the Westby Racing bike right behind him.
Beaubier gets a bad start and is running in 9th.
The guy that's the winner here right now, though, is Bobby Fong. I felt like he had some pace yesterday. He was doing everything he could to get through on Matthew Skoltz, and he just couldn't do it. But today, he has got that guy in front of him that he wanted to see, and he can maybe start to get pulled away. The interesting thing about that bike, that ADR Racing R1 of Bobby Fong, he's able to keep it much tighter through these sections of the track, the S sections, and we'll key on that as the race goes.
After 2 laps, Fong is keeping pace with Gagne, but crashes off camera.
I'm hearing that Bobby Fong has just gone down, guys.
Looks like turn 3.
Bit of a crying shame. Yeah. Hey, we got one more. We got one more, yeah. It's we'll just try and get some feedback from him as soon as he gets back.
On lap 4, Beaubier runs wide and drops back to P11.
And there's Beaubier at the back of this group. So obviously he's had a big problem somewhere, Greg. He was running 9th, and it's just such a difficult place to pass. You have to be very, very, very pinpoint in where you've decided to make your decisions on getting by people.
Escalante is keeping pace in P3 behind Skoltz, but runs through the chicane and will likely have a time penalty. On lap 7, Beaubier is working to get past Ashton Yates.
Ashton Yates doing an outstanding job of the aftercare Scheibe Racing BMW. That's the S1000 RR compared to the bike in front of him and the bike behind him. Those are M1000 RRs. And if you look at some of the splits during the course of the weekend, there have been times when Ashton Yates has been the fastest of anybody in a variety of these splits. It's a matter of putting these laps together as we continue to watch the development of the son of famed Superbike racer Aaron Yates. And he is got a lot of bike control, does Ashton Yates. Now again, for Cameron Beaubier, this is probably one of the rare times he races around Ashton, so... Oh no! What a... Oh no! Unfortunately... Whoa! Some problem out of the chicane for Ashton Yates. His bike just stopped running. Cameron Beaubier, massive acceleration, nowhere to go. And down goes Cameron.
Red flag, all stations go red, all stations go red. Ryder is still down.